Hello fellow cine enthusiasts, my name is Christina and welcome to another Let's Get Reelz movie review. Today is my segment I like to call What's on Netflix, where I tell you what's on Netflix that maybe you've never heard of, maybe you've never seen. Today's movie on Netflix I'm going to be reviewing for you is Disney's Coco. I have never seen Coco before watching it on Netflix, and I'm so mad at myself because Coco was such a good movie and I had heard nothing but great things about Coco, and I absolutely loved it. The story is about this little kid named Miguel. He lives with his family in a small town in Mexico. His great-great-grandfather ran off on the family because he wanted to be a musician. So since then, his family is like, no music in the house, we don't like music. His great-great-grandmother threw out all the record players, anything that had to do with music. She was so upset with her husband, and he never came back. That's why she's so upset. He just went off and left the family. And his abuelita is upholding the family's ban on music, but Miguel loves music. He loves music so much. He has a secret little hideout in an attic that he has all these records and TV shows of this very famous singer from his small town, Ernesto de la Cruz. And he was a guitar player, I think, and a singer back in like the 40s, 50s, something like that. And he died a long time ago, but Miguel really looks up to him. He's taught himself to play the guitar. He actually drew up at the top where you tighten the strings and everything. He drew the same kind of pattern that was on Ernesto's guitar. In Miguel's house, there is I guess kind of like a shrine, altar, or setup, I'm not particularly sure what exactly to call it, where it commemorates the family members that have passed, and like his aunts, his uncles, even his great-great-grandfather, but his great-great-grandfather's face is torn off. Miguel is friends with a street dog named Dante, who is a Zolo, and Dante comes in, he smells the food because it's the Day of the Dead that's coming up, and unfortunately I can't remember how to pronounce it in Spanish correctly, so I'm just gonna say it's Day of the Dead. And for this Day of the Dead, they bring food offerings, so because they believe that the family members that have passed come to visit, and they offer the living offer the dead food and other things. So Dante smells the food, he goes to grab it, and Miguel pulls Dante off, but there's the picture of his grandmother and his great-great-grandparents. So when Miguel knocks it over, the picture falls, and when cracking the frame, and he sees a picture of like the full picture, and there was a part that had been bent in to fit into the frame, and he sees the guitar, and it looks like Ernesto de la Cruz's. So Miguel freaks out, and he's like, Ernesto de la Cruz is my great-great-grandfather, oh my god. He's like so happy. He wants to go into a competition, but he can't find a guitar to play, so he goes to like the mausoleum that's for Ernesto de la Cruz, where his guitar is hanging up, and he takes the guitar, but there are these special kind of flowers that are laid out. I believe they're marigolds of some kind, and all of a sudden Miguel is transported to this bridge where the flowers are and where his ancestors are, the dead ancestors, and it's crazy. Miguel goes on a really interesting journey in this. He goes to try and find Ernesto de la Cruz, thinking he's his great-great-grandfather, and he actually meets someone named Hector, who becomes important to Miguel in the end. And that's all I'm gonna give away, because the story of Coco is just so sweet, it's so touching, it's so colorful and vibrant and just different. We're so used to seeing like white Anglo-Saxon or what have you cultures. You have all these old Disney movies that are from different cultures from around the world. You had like Italy, Germany, England, France. You had the white cultures, the white European cultures, and now we're getting Latin American cultures. We're getting a culture that has been in the news a lot lately, but they're very traditional. They have their traditions, and they're just as important as everybody else's traditions, families from all over the world. And it was just fascinating to see something different than the usual, than what we're usually shown in Disney movies and regular cartoons in general. I loved seeing the Mexican culture with all their bright colors, their foods, their language, and their tradition of family and remembering family. The whole story, everything about it was just absolutely touching, and it was so brilliantly done, so well made, and really thoughtful, very introspective, because it makes you think like, oh, am I thinking of my relatives who have passed enough? I mean, that was my thought. So it was just, God, I can't, I'm like rambling now, but I loved Coco so much. Really enjoyed it. One of Disney's best movies I have seen. Miguel was a great character. Hector was a great character. Dante, I am obsessed with. Dante, he's like one of my favorite animated animals now. Loved him from the moment you saw him. And the reason I think I loved him so much is because he reminded me of YouTuber Mamrie Hart's dog, Beans, who was also a Zolo, but Beans is like this big. And Dante looked about this big. Dante was a little bit bigger than Beans, but I thought Dante was hysterical. Loved every scene he was in. He was so cute. So one of the best animated dogs or animals I have seen in a movie. So that was my review / ramble of Coco. If you liked my review / ramble in any way, please give it a thumbs up. Leave your comments down below if you have seen Coco. What did you like about it? Who was your favorite character? What scenes did you like? How did you like it? Anything you want to leave about Coco, leave in the comments. And also in the comments if you have any suggestions of what I should watch next. See them on Netflix or anywhere else. Let me know, and if I pick your movie and I watch it and I review it, I'll give you a shout out. How freaking cool is that? Who wouldn't want a shout out? And don't forget to hit that subscribe button for future Let's Get Reelz reviews and What's on Netflix reviews. And also don't forget to hit that bell too, because my uploading schedule is all over the place. So if you hit that bell, you will get a notification that I have uploaded. And as always, keep watching movies and stay absolutely fabulous.